What happens when you return something online? Well, it comes here. This is a liquidation overstock warehouse, and we just picked up a bunch of PC parts from here. We picked up this gaming PC, and as you can tell, it's beat. Sadly, it's had less gamers inside of it than Bonnie Blue. So we gambled on some parts, and we picked up an Asus 4090. This is the Tough Gaming. It had a couple scratches on here, but it looked like it'd probably work. So come with me while we test some of these PC parts to see if we scored or if we got completely So now we gotta turn off the PC and install the 4090. Generally speaking, I'll use my test bench, but this thing requires 3 8-pins, and I don't have that on my test bench currently, so we're gonna take out my 7900 XT. Now we can add the Asus 4090. I know a lot of you guys have questions on how much things cost and so on and so forth. It really depends if these items have been tested, if they're salvage, or if they're just overstock and so on. Generally speaking, you can get about 20% of retail. A lot of times, if it's salvage, you'll usually pay from 5 to 8%. After running the PC and plugging the 4090 in, we had 0 response, 0 fan spin, so this is a dead card, but we're going to put it in the repair pile. Now here comes the PC that we picked up for about $300, and the reason it was totally fine is the case itself goes for almost $200, so I figure you can't really lose if some of these parts work. Taking a look at this GPU, I honestly have no doubt in my mind this thing does not work. You have the back plate touching all of the chips on the back, so this thing probably shorted out in addition to all the damage and probably some broken parts and broken PCB. I even had to bend back the rear I/O just to have this fit in the case, and trust me, I've been surprised before. You can see something that looks obliterated, but somehow still works. How did we get fan spin with this thing and the Asus one didn't even do that? But we did have an issue. It says load VGA BIOS. Honestly, if this thing works properly, I can actually do that myself. We're gonna go ahead and swap to the secondary BIOS. Maybe that'll work, and if not, I can actually load this myself as long as the card is working properly. So the secondary BIOS, it did not work, sadly. Stay tuned for when we test the rest of the parts and fix the ones that are broken.